Hey YouTube, T Holtz here. We're looking at my 75-gallon Sarasa Comet goldfish tank. Four large Comet goldfish in here. And 3 dojo loaches. There's one of them. There's a couple more there. 3 dojo loaches. These goldfish, quite large, especially that one. You can't tell by the camera how big they are, but they are big. I mean, put my hand next to it there, and he's as big as my hand. That one, and he's also very wide or fat as well. You can see that's a big fish. And the other 3 aren't quite as big, although this one is. I did have a 4th one in here, a 5th one I should say, but I didn't have a lid on the tank, and of course you know what happens when I start telling you that. He jumped out, and so I went and got this greenhouse roofing, and I used that as the lid. My light sits on it, so that holds the lid down. That was unfortunate. I didn't think he would jump out. They don't show any signs of... They don't get startled like some tropical fish do. All of a sudden something scares them. Nothing seems to bother these fish, but I did have one that jumped out, so that's when I put the lid on it. This one here is a nice one. He's got that nice black tail. He's got one red eye. There you see. His left eye is red, and his other eye is black. There you see the red eye. He's got a nice tail. This is the largest one. And I have this one here who's also got a nice tail. Nice flowing tail. And this big one here. This is the oldest one. Got some plants. They're not doing very well. Goldfish, of course, tear them up. I got some Amazon sword plants that I had extras of. They were runners from a plant that I have in one of my other tanks, so I put them in here. They're in glass bowls. They're actually dirted bowls, but the dirt kind of really gets taken out by the goldfish as goldfish put everything in their mouth, so they take the sand, they take the gravel out, and the dirt ends up coming out. They didn't get this one. This one still has the gravel on top and the dirt there. So what I'm going to do is probably put some root tabs in there since there's very little dirt in there. The goldfish tear them up. And on the top I have some water sprite. You see that grows all across the top. Every couple months what I do is I just take out handfuls and I fill up a 5-gallon bucket with the water sprite. You see that's got a lot of roots on it right there. I fill up a 5-gallon bucket of water sprite every couple months and just throw it away. It grows quickly in here. Mainly have it just to keep the water quality, help with the water quality. Let the water sprite take up some of the nitrates. Having, common goldfish, really not the best setting for them to be in a 75-gallon tank. They should be in a bigger tank, but I opted to put them in here. And that water sprite does help with the nitrates, keep the water a little cleaner. This tank I do a couple times a week, at least twice a week, I do water changes on it. You can tell when the water's not good. The fish are sitting on the bottom of the tank. If there's something wrong with the water, they'll just be sitting there on the bottom of the tank, and I'll do a water change, and a few minutes later they'll be acting like they are right now. It's been about 2 days since the last time I changed the water. Usually twice, sometimes 3 times a week. Since they're in kind of a small environment for them, I like to keep the water as clean as possible. Dojo loaches aren't doing anything. Normally they'll be moving around all over the tank, but as you can see right now, they're just sitting still. I wish we could have got a view of them swimming around, because they're really interesting fish when they swim around. I only see 2. The 3rd one is probably hanging up in the water sprite somewhere. This has a Sun 304B filter on it. I do have some air bubbles coming out just to oxygenate it a little bit, especially since with the water sprite on the top of the tank, there's really maybe not a whole lot of surface movement because the water can't move that much with all those plants up there, just to oxygenate the water, especially now in the warm weather. It's probably water temperature probably in the tank is probably in the low 80s. So that reduces the oxygen. Really can't tell how big that one fish is just by looking at it on camera, but he's quite large. I like this one with the nice black tail, or black markings on the tail, and the one red eye. You can see his red eye. And there's wood in the back. I have manzanita wood there all in the back. I think there's 3 pieces that I put in here, 3 or 4. I think it's, yeah, 3 I think, pieces of wood. Just a black sand substrate. That's pieces of wood actually. I didn't sift the soil that well when I put them in the pots. So there were some little wood chips in the topsoil and it came out, and that's what's laying on the bottom. But this is my 75-gallon goldfish tank. I really enjoy coming in here looking at these fish. They're always active, always swimming around, always begging for food. Although right now they probably don't know what to make of me holding my phone here in their faces. Okay, YouTube, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Again, this is my 75-gallon goldfish tank.